welcome back to another What I've Watched video for December and so far of January. Now you have to remember, in December I watched a ton of Christmas movies, which I won't be including in this video because I talked about them all in the Christmas countdown 24 videos. So, you know, there's 24 Christmas movies I watched in December, and then, let me see if I can pick up the December pile, and then I also watched these movies, which doesn't seem like many, but like I said, I watched a lot of Christmas movies, and you know, some things on the TV and stuff, and I watched a lot of TV shows. So these are the movies that I watched in December. Quite a lot of these are, well, four of these I guess, are the Tuesday night movie night watches. So I won't be talking too much about those. The first one is a Tuesday night movie night watch, and that is Night at the Museum. If you don't know what Tuesday night movie night is, you should definitely check it out. It's a little movie night series I've got on my channel here. Night at the Museum, I obviously watched this because the third one is coming out, so I wanted to refresh my memory and watch the second one, the first one. I need to still watch the second one, and then I'll see the third one when it's released on Blu-ray. But the first one, I enjoyed it, I had fun with it, I like this movie, it's just cute and fun. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as the first time that I watched it, but I still had a good time with it. I'm sure most of you know what this movie's about. Ben Stiller goes to work at a museum, and it comes to life. Yeah, so I enjoyed it. It was fun. I gave it, I think, three stars, 3.5 stars. I had a good time with it, and like I say, I will be watching the second one in the upcoming months, so that then I can watch the third one and be all up to date. Okay, the next one that I watched was a rewatch, and that is How to Train Your Dragon 2. So yeah, I watched this, you know, last month in November. I watched it again, and I love this movie. I gave it 5 stars. I enjoyed it just as much the second time, and I think I'll probably be rewatching it soon. So yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 2, it's a big thumbs up from me. I was always a big fan of the How to Train Your Dragon movie, so this one I was so excited for, and it definitely did not let me down. The next one I have is Guardians of the Galaxy. I did a review on this movie. I actually did a review on How to Train Your Dragon 2 as well, but I loved it. I gave it 5 stars, it surprised me, it just made me smile. I enjoyed this so much. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, I just had such a fun time with it. I think it's definitely one of my favourite Marvel movies now, and I can't wait for the second one. I'm really excited for them to, you know, continue with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. This movie, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. It was great. It was so much fun. I think that even if you're not really into superhero movies, you can enjoy this. It was a great movie. I loved it. 5 stars. Another 5-star movie that I have here, I watched this Tuesday night movie night, and it is Catching Fire. I've talked about this movie lots of times. I did a review on it, you know, way back when it was released. I read the book, and we watched it in Tuesday night movie night, so we talked about it a lot more there. So if you're interested in that, then I will try and link the Tuesday night movie night ones down below, so you can check those out and a bit more in-depth thoughts. But yeah, Catching Fire, I mean, I love the Hunger Games series. The next one was another Tuesday night movie night one. As you can see, in between the Tuesday night movie nights, I just mostly was watching Christmas films, which I'm not including in this, and it's Parental Guidance. I had so much fun watching this. I enjoyed it probably even more than I did the first time. This was a rewatch for me, and it's such a fun movie. I definitely recommend you check it out. It's a great family film. It's basically about these parents who need to go away on a business trip, and they have to let the grandparents look after the kids, and it's lots of fun. Bailey Madison's in this, and I think she's a great child actress, and I had so much fun with it. I highly recommend you check this out if you kind of thought you kind of maybe passed it off, but you enjoy kind of family films. It's a funny one. It's got Bette Midler and Billy Crystal. Couldn't think of his name then, and they're fantastic in this movie and so funny. It's kind of like a laugh out loud fun movie that you can just sit back and relax to. But yeah, again, it was a Tuesday night movie night film, but I really enjoyed it. The next one I watched was Planes 2 Fire and Rescue. I'm sure you guys know that I really enjoyed the first Planes movie, so I was very much looking forward to this one. I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't have a 3D release of it, but you know, I still enjoyed this one. I've only watched it once so far. I think I need to rewatch it again. I did do a review on it though, and I thought it was a really cute movie. I thought it followed up nice. I think, you know, I think they could do well if they made some more of these. I wouldn't mind, and I enjoyed it, but not quite as much as the first one. Like, I don't find it as memorable as the first one, but it was just okay. You know, Dusty goes to work as a fire plane, and it's pretty good. It looks very beautiful on Blu-ray. Some of the scenes in this are fantastic. But yeah, so I enjoyed it, but not quite as much as I enjoyed the first one, but it was still a good movie. Another Tuesday night movie night one was Toy Story 3. I mean, we all know about the news of Toy Story 4, so I had to go ahead and watch Toy Story 3 again, and this movie's great. I loved it. It's not, I don't know where I rank this one. It's definitely not as good as the first one. The first one just holds a special place for me and I love the first one. But as far as the second one goes, I'm not sure if it's equal with the second one or if it's kind of a bit under the second one. I'm not sure. I still haven't like formed my opinion with that. So let me know what you think about the Toy Story movies and what you think about there being a fourth one. But yeah, Toy Story 3, we all know and love that one. The next one I watched was Derailed with Clive Owen and Jennifer Aniston. I watched this because it was a Jennifer Aniston movie and I gave this actually 3.5 stars, which really surprised me because when I started to watch it I was a bit unsure. I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy this. It's basically about this man who meets this woman on a train and then they both are married but they kind of are having they go into a hotel room, you know, and somebody like bashes into the hotel room and basically robs them and many kind of bad things happen, and then it's kind of about them trying to get on with this and they now have this connection between the two of them, but it takes a whole different route that I didn't think it was going to, and I was surprised. I actually enjoyed this more than I thought I was going to. I don't think I'd really watch it again, but there was a twist in it that I thought it was pretty good. I liked the twist in this movie, but yeah, I kind of just watched it because Jennifer Aniston was in it and it was one of the only films of hers that I had not seen yet, but she definitely plays a lot of a darker role and it's an interesting movie. If you haven't got too much to watch and you like movies like this that are a bit of a thriller suspense type of movie but not too much, I would recommend this one. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, so yeah, Derailed. The next one was another Tuesday night movie night one, but it was one where I did it with a special guest and it is The Shining. I mean, this movie is brilliant. I gave it 5 stars. I've talked about it a lot. It's definitely, well, I've said before it was my favourite horror movie and I think that it is, but you know, there's definitely others that I really enjoy as well that are close to this, but this one is 5 stars. I watched it again. I've seen it quite a few times and I enjoyed it just as much, so yeah, this movie, if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend that you check it out because it's just, I don't know, it's a brilliant summer movie. I love it. So yeah, check out The Shining. The next one I watched was Phoebe in Wonderland. I got this for Christmas and I was so excited. I love this movie. It's great. I've actually recently talked about it in Underrated Movies 6, I think, and I definitely recommend that you check this out. I think it is quite underrated. It's got Elle Fanning in, Felicity Huffman and Bailey Madison. It's just a great movie. Basically it's about this girl. It's very different than what you might think it is. It's about this girl who suffers with a lot of problems. She has things like, you know, signs of OCD and Tourette's and stuff. She really is struggling, and then she takes part in this play that's to do with Alice in Wonderland. It's kind of an escape, and it's all about like her trying to deal with this, and it's a very beautifully shot film. It's very interesting. It does have links to Alice in Wonderland, and I very much enjoyed it. But if you kind of want to know a bit more about it, I'll link the Underrated Movies one down below that I talked about this in, so you can find out a little bit more, because I definitely recommend kind of looking up and finding out a bit more about this one. The next one I watched was Let's Be Cops. This was just a fun movie. I had a great time with this. I think I'll watch it again. It had some funny moments. I gave it 3.5 stars, and you know, it's like these two guys who go to a costume party dressed as cops, and then as they come out of the costume party, people think that they are the real policemen, and they kind of, you know, have a bit of fun with it, play a bit of it, and then it kind of gets a bit more serious when they end up in this situation that they maybe didn't want to be in. And you know, it's enjoyable, it's fun. If you're kind of looking for just a fun like comedy, I'd recommend this one. I had a good time with it and I would watch it again. Another Tuesday night movie I watched was Just Go With It with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston. This movie is just fun. I've watched it many times and then I hadn't watched it for a while, so it was another rewatch for me, and I just enjoyed it. I'm sure a lot of you have kind of seen this movie around. Adam Sandler always kind of pretends that he's married to meet other women and pretends that his wife is treating him badly, and then he kind of hits this stumble when the girl says, right, I want to meet your wife, because he says he's getting divorced and she wants to meet her, and obviously she doesn't exist, so Jennifer Aniston, who works with him, has to pretend to be his wife, and then, you know, she has kids and then he has to pretend that they're his kids, and it's this whole big thing. But it's just an enjoyable movie, nothing to be taken too seriously, but it's still just a lot of fun, and I really like the end. I just do. It's just like, yeah, it's just a happy, fun movie. The next one I have is The Devil Wears Prada. I hadn't seen this movie for a very long time, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to rewatch The Devil Wears Prada. And I loved it. I had so much of a good time with it. I don't know what it is about this movie, but I just really enjoyed it. And I gave this movie 4 stars. I mean, this movie looks like it's just going to be, yeah, you know, whatever, another girly movie. And essentially it is, but it kind of has this great hidden message that kind of really just inspired me in some weird little way that I just found myself really enjoying it. So I really enjoyed this in the end, and I was so glad that I decided to rewatch it, because I think I will be rewatching it some more times this year in 2015 because it just kind of has a, I don't know, it has a message that I just really enjoyed about it. So definitely check out The Devil Wears Prada if you haven't seen it before, because I think it might surprise you. It definitely surprised me because it had been a long time since I'd seen it, so I was like, oh, you know, it's just going to be, you know, a nice easy watch, which yes it is, but I think I really like the message that kind of lies within this movie. So yeah, that's The Devil Wears Prada. The next one I watched was Transcendence with Johnny Depp and Morgan Freeman, which is kind of a newer sci-fi movie about you know, the advances in technology and people who are afraid of advancing with technology and people who think, you know, we should advance with technology. And I understand the message in this movie, but I just felt like it wasn't portrayed as great as it could be, or I don't know what it was. I gave it 2.5 stars. I did a review on it, but a lot of you in the comments said that you did enjoy this movie, so that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I just personally didn't really click with it. I don't know what it was about it. And I love Johnny Depp, but he just felt like he didn't do his full potential in this movie. I don't know what it was, but I just didn't enjoy it too much. So yeah, that's Transcendence. And now I'll pick up the January movies of so far. So yeah, so far these are the movies that I've watched in January. I think all of them bar one are rewatches. I now have this new little cute book here which I started writing in. I have a different book that I was writing in them before, but I've started writing in the movies that I've watched, the date of release and the stars that I've given them. So I'm going to keep this going all year, so I'll be more on track than what I've watched videos now. So the first movie I watched of the year was The Fault in Our Stars, which I've watched so many times. In November, I just kind of watched this movie a bunch of times, and then I was like, yeah, no, I need to rewatch this. Gave it 5 stars again. I think I just love this movie. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. I read the book, I enjoyed it. I watched the movie, I enjoyed it. I just kind of like to rewatch this one. So yeah, that's The Fault in Our Stars. The next one was a rewatch, but the first time I watched it, I didn't enjoy it too much. But the second time, which was this time, I really did find myself enjoying it, and it's The Descendants. I think it's quite underrated. It's got George Clooney and Shailene Woodley. So whilst I was watching The Fault in Our Stars, it kind of made me think, I should rewatch that. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it now. And, you know, it's about this guy, and it's very much based around Hawaii. Like, they live in Hawaii, but the island is very much mentioned throughout the film. And this guy has these 2 children, and his wife is in a coma. And it's just about them dealing with it, and it's just it's a very, very slow burn. It's like a drama. It's not a lot happens in this movie, but I kind of appreciate it a lot more this time. I gave it 4 stars. I really did highly enjoy it, and I would recommend it, but it was something a little bit different. It kind of, you know, not a lot happens, but I really did find myself enjoying it. So yeah, it's Descendants. The next one I watched is Chef, and I will be doing a review on this movie because I want to talk about it a bit more in depth, but you know, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this one. It's about a guy who is a chef, but then he goes and gets a food truck and travels around, and I really enjoyed the travelling, and the son in this movie was fantastic. I loved him. It was just a great feel-good movie, and I really enjoyed it, so I will hopefully be watching this again soon, and also I will be doing a review on it soon. So I enjoyed that. I also gave that one 4 stars. And then I watched About Time, which was a rewatch. This movie, I just love this movie. Every time I watch this movie, I think, you know, it starts out and I think, I'm probably not going to enjoy it as much this time. And then by the end, I'm like, yes, I'm all on board with this movie. It's just something great about it. I like the message in this movie. Basically, it's about this guy who can time travel only through his life, and he can go back at certain points in life, kind of change a little bit if he wants to. And you know, it's basically a romantic movie about him falling in love with Rachel McAdams, and it's just so beautifully done, and it's over such a long span of time. I like movies that are over quite a long span of time, and in the end, I just loved. Basically, just go ahead and watch this movie and watch it to the end. I think it had a really important message for everyday life and living life and things. I found it really interesting. I really loved it, and it makes me smile. It's a very interesting movie, and it has time travel, and I loved it. So yeah, About Time, I gave it 4.5 stars. People might judge it from this cover, but I think you shouldn't. I think you should definitely watch this one. So yeah, About Time I did enjoy. And then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy again, because it's a great movie, so I watched this one again. And then we are up to Tuesday Night Movie, which was just the other day. My Girl. This was the Tuesday Night Movie Night that went up yesterday, so definitely check out that one. My Girl is a great movie from the early 90s that I love. It's just a coming of age story. Check out the Tuesday Night Movie Night if you haven't already. And the next one I watched was The Lion King. It was about time that I'd rewatched this movie. It's a fantastic movie. I gave it 5 stars. I enjoyed it so much. I was so glad that I rewatched it. And I mean, you all know The Lion King. The next one that I watched was The Princess and the Frog. I got this on Blu-ray for Christmas, so I was like, oh yeah, I really want to rewatch it. And I enjoyed it so much. I gave it 4, what did I give it, 4 stars or 4.5? No, I gave it 4. and I kind of want to watch it again. I only watched it the other day. I kind of feel like I want to watch it again, and I don't know what it is. I will be talking about this in an upcoming video. But if you haven't seen this one and you enjoyed Disney movies, I definitely recommend checking this one out. It's a little bit different. It goes back to hand-drawn animation. It's set in New Orleans. The music in it is, well, the music in it as in the instrumental music, the score, kind of, is, I really enjoy. And I enjoy some of the songs in it, but what I like about this movie is that it has a lot of jazz music in it, which I really enjoy. I mean, it has a crocodile who plays the saxophone. The saxophone is like one of my favourite instruments. I obviously can't play the saxophone, but to listen to, I love the saxophone. So the fact that actually, I don't know if he plays a little, I don't think it's actually the saxophone that he plays, but it might be a little trumpet. But he looks like, where is he? I'm not sure. It's only a little thing, but then he isn't, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent that isn't relevant. I can't give it away, so I've just ruined this whole thing, right? Basically, there's a crocodile, who might even be an alligator, who plays a jazz instrument. We'll just go with that. And that, I think, is brilliant. So, that whole, I don't know what happened there, but this movie is great, despite that whole weird little thing I just had on. So we're just going to leave it there. It's a great movie. Check it out. I love it. The next one I watched is The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. This movie is fantastic. It's a World War II movie, and it is so heartbreaking, but so important. I made my friend Jess watch this movie because she hadn't seen it before, and I was like, you need to watch this movie. It's very brilliant to watch it. And I don't want to tell you too much about it, but if you haven't seen it, no matter who you are and what you think of movies, definitely watch this movie. I highly recommend it. I think it just makes you think about things in a different way, and I love it. Check out The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, 5 stars. The next one I have here is Safe Haven. I recently talked about this in underrated movies, so I was like, yeah, I need to watch this again. It's so much more than just a love story. It kind of has a bit of mystery, and it's a beautifully told story. I gave it 4.5 stars because every time that I watch this, I still feel the same as I did the first time. I still am wondering what's going to happen, even though I know, and it's a great movie. Definitely check it out. I talked about it in underrated movies, which I talked about with Phoebe and Wonderland too, so I'll link it down below like I said, but I recommend this movie, and I don't think you should judge it from the cover. And then finally I've rewatched Tinkerbell and the Pirate Fairy, which is the newest Tinkerbell movie that's been released on Blu-ray. And this movie is great. I really enjoy the Tinkerbell movies. I think they're really cute and lovely. This one I enjoyed, but I think I enjoyed Secret of the Wings a little bit more. I gave it 3.5 stars, which seems kind of low compared to the others, but that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it a lot. I mean, I've rewatched it. I'll probably rewatch it again in the future. I think all the Tinkerbell movies are very cute. This one's probably my second favourite. I'm not quite sure. I think I'm going to watch when the new one comes out, Legend of the Nether Beast. I'm going to watch them all again and do a best to worst kind of video. So yeah, but if you judge the Tinkerbell movies from the front of them, I think you might maybe be surprised, depending on who you are, and might enjoy them. This one has a connection with Hook and the TikTok crocodile. So yeah, I think you should check this one out. I personally enjoyed it. And that is it for the What I've Watched video, guys. Thumbs up if you enjoy these What I've Watched videos. I certainly enjoy making them, and now I've got my new little notebook going on. I will be keeping more up to date with them. And hopefully watching more movies this year, more What I've Watched videos. And yeah, so I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoy these. Comment down below if you've seen any of these movies, or just let me know what you've been watching, if there's anything great you've watched that you'd recommend. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!